We're going to touch on something now today that's called hard work, okay? And digging in deep and finding that gap, or finding that weak spot, or that opportunity that you can prevail and you can achieve. Now, there's always wiggle room. There's always room to improve. There's always room to make something happen, to make something work. 9 times out of 10, when we get close to that stage where we know we're going to fail, we know it's not going well for us, we give up. And that's that defeatist attitude we spoke about before. That's where we stop, where we sit back down on the couch and say, oh, it's not for me. This is not for me. I'm not good enough. I can't do this. If you think of a sports team or a sports person that's involved in a game or whatever it is, and they're staring defeat in the face, they're losing. The shoulders drop, the energy drops, the belief drops, and they go on to lose. But they lost way before the final whistle because they gave up. They gave up in here. The spirit died and they'd no fight left in them. It's what's it all for? What's it all about? And then on the other hand, you have the sports team or individual, like you can call them mentality monsters, is one I've heard recently as well, where they just never give up. Until that final whistle goes, there is always an opportunity to win, to progress, to achieve something, to give your best, to do everything you can, humanly possible, to get that win, to make that progress. And we can bring that into everyday life. I'm sure there's plenty of people on here that, like myself, who have exams coming up. There she goes. Okay. So you could have exams coming up, and this is where I should give up now. I should give up now and say, fuck it anyway, that's after falling down. We'll restart the video, it's gone to shit. Doesn't really matter, it's a curveball, isn't it? So we crack on. Okay. So you're prepping for an exam, you're studying and you're doing a bit here and there, and then next thing, before you know it, the exams are up on top of you the next day or in 2 days' time, and you cram. You're thinking you're going to fail. I'm going to fail this test. I'm not going to make it. I'm not going to do it. The defeatist attitude. A lot of people will just, I'll postpone the exams, or I'll just turn up and I'll give it a shot. But they'll sit there with the pen or the iPad, wherever it is, and they won't give it their best shot, because in here, they've already decided they've failed. They've already given themselves an F. They might as well draw it on the page themselves, not turn up. But then you have the other type of person who'll put on the coffee, they'll sit down, they'll have the lights on all night, okay? What's it, burning the candle at both ends, they'll be up there all night, and they'll cram it in, they'll study. And they'll say, you know what, while I have a chance, while there's still that bit of time for me to try and learn, upskill, to pass this exam, I'll stay in, I'll cram, and I'll do it, and I'll pass. And I'll get into it, I'll get through it. I remember when I was in school, all I wanted to do was join the military. I didn't care. They were saying apply for this college. My dad obviously had passed away, so my uncle said to me, like, you should go for a proper career. You should go and be in the ESB, or go and be a carpenter, or go and be fantastic jobs. Go and be a doctor or something, whatever. Yeah, study for something different. And I remember them having these chats with me when I was in secondary school, and all I could see was the military. That's it, the army. I don't care. That's what I'm going to do. And they said to me, I remember sitting there and there was 2 of them chatting to me, and I'm not sure which one of my uncles said to me, but he said, if you don't get in, what are you going to do? What's your plan B? What's your fallback? And youthful exuberance there, I just said, of course I'll get in. So why wouldn't I get in? He said, but what if something happens, you can't get in, what are you going to do? I said, but I'll join, I'll get in. End of story. For me, that was it. That was my plan A. I didn't give a shit what anybody said. I was joining the army. No, it doesn't matter how I get in, I was going to get in. Now, when I went and spoke to the career guidance teacher back in the day, we had them, I don't know what there is now. I was very, very, very bad at Irish, very poor, so bad. Irish and maths, just didn't get them, you know. So I was in chatting to this girl, this teacher, and she said to me, you know, you have to pass your Irish if you want to go for the army, and you have to get this and you have to get that. And I was like, Jesus, really? I thought I could pass other stuff and fail Irish or just skip along. And that was very, very close to the exams. And I remember trying to get the exam structure and go through the Irish language and try and write a story and whatever else you had to do and all this different stuff in it. I hadn't a breeze, not a clue, because I'd wasted the last so many years because there's no interest in it. But did I cram? I studied and I practiced for different aspects of it. And I passed. I got through it. Okay? And again, it's not about me. It's just about the mindset of, even at that age, saying to yourself, you know what? I want something. And if there's a way I can get it, I'm going to work for it. There's a bit of naivety there, like not having the research done and not knowing exactly what what I needed to have in order to achieve my goals. But when I was given the curveball, we took it on board and I studied. Now, obviously after that then there's different obstacles that can stop you getting to these places. So it's good to have plan B. Of course it is good to have plan B. But again, at that age, that's all I was interested in. Lucky enough, I got in and I had a fantastic career, and I'm out a few years now. It's Marcus Aurelius said, if it's humanly possible, you can do it. For me, that's always stuck in my mind. If it's humanly possible, you can do it. So what's stopping you? You're stopping you. Up here is stopping you. In here, the anxiety, the self-belief, the self-empowerment, that's what's stopping you. The fear. It's like, I can't do this. I'm not good enough. I'm not able to do it. And that's why so many give up. And that's why so many can give up on life, can give up on family, on relationships, on careers, on dreams. For me, it's sad nowadays where our children are not taught or encouraged to pursue their dreams. It's all box ticking and like, I want to be an astronaut. Go and be a fucking astronaut. I want to be a fireman. I want to be this. I want to be that. Yes, encourage it. Let's go and do it. I want to be an artist. Go and be an artist. Encourage it. Not this, jeez, I don't know now, so an astronaut now. You might be a bit sure for that. Or there's always some excuse, there's always something that we can tell our kids or ourselves that they can't do it or we can't do it because of your situation. But if we look around us, we can see that there's so many people have achieved and come from nothing to get to a certain place. I've used that American footballer before, who stayed as a kid, who was told he was no good. You can't run fast enough, you're not big enough, you're not strong enough, you can't catch the ball, you can't fucking throw the ball. You're not going to be an NFL player. Never. As a kid. Why not just throw a rock on him? Like, you've already smashed his dreams, like, you're taking everything away. But he showed up to training and was laughed at. He showed up every time for the match, was never picked. He showed up all the time. Didn't get his kit because he wasn't good enough. And every evening after training, his mother sat in the car with the car lights on, shining onto the grass, so he could practice and practice and practice and practice. Because despite what he was being told, that he couldn't do it, something in here, in that kid's head, and it wasn't his mom who said, you can do it. Something in here at that young age said, I can do this. And I'm going to do this. So that quote from Marcus Aurelius, which he quite possibly hadn't heard, was ingrained in there somehow. Where he said to himself, if it's humanly possible, I'm going to do this. And he went from that stage all the way through, where he wasn't selected for college football. He wasn't selected for this. And he tried and pushed and pushed. You know the end of the story, don't you? NFL player. Top NFL player. That's the difference with people, guys. That's the difference with achieving. It's finding that crack in the armour that's stopping you from going forward and fucking smashing your way through it. It's like the obstacle crossing phase. There's always a way to meander around it. Always. If you consider a small river, okay, that's trickling down a mountain, will come against all these obstacles, but over time, it'll find its pathway down. Not only that, over time, it will erode its own path. It'll make its own path the whole way down. Over years, whatever it is, it will erode the soil, the rock, the obstacles in its way to make its own fucking path. If you can see yourself, because I know a lot of people are anxious, a lot of people are scared, they're fearful. They don't want to take that step forward. If you can see yourself at that time as that tiny little trickle of water at the top of the mountain, with that big long journey ahead of yourself, but know that once you get momentum, you get down to the bottom. See where we switched it now? Instead of going, let's get to the top of the mountain, let's get fucking down the mountain. Let's create a path and let's drive on. There's always a way, guys. Get after it, have a smash one. We'll see you all tomorrow.